Hey friends, how are you today? I hope you are doing well. It seems like it has been such a long time since we have visited, and I've had a busy few weeks, but I am glad to be back here with you. My name is Liana George. I am a professional organizer and the owner of By George Organizing Solutions. And today I want to talk to you about the comparison game that we all play with people when we see how they are organizing their stuff, or we look at their pantry and we're like, oh, I can never be organized like that. And so I'm here because I want you to stop doing that. I want you to just stop it, because I want you to be you. Because when you're you, that's how you are going to be the best organized you can be. So let me ask you a question, okay? If I were to ask you, and I want you to put your answers in the comments, whether you're watching this live or you are watching this recorded, I have a question for you. And my question is this: how would you solve this math problem? Now, I know math may not be your forte, and you're talking about organizing, but here's the thing. I want you to tell me, how would you answer this problem? Because it has a point, okay? How would you answer that? Now, some of you are going to say, well, 5 plus 5. And then others of you may say, no, 6 plus 4. And then there might be some of you who say, well, why not 10 plus 0, right? There are at least 5 different answers I could have gotten to this problem. And you know why? Because there are many ways to approach a problem. There are many ways to solve a problem. It doesn't matter if your answer is the same as the person next to you. What matters is that you got to the goal of 10, right? Well, and the same is true with our organizing. It doesn't matter if it looks the same as the person next to you. What matters is, did you get to the goal of getting organized your way? That's what matters. But we get so obsessed and so consumed with what we see online or what we see in magazines. And we think that if we can't have it look like that, or if we can't do it that way, then it's pointless, and we'll never be able to do it. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. Last week, I happened to have lunch with a guy who is a writer or editor, I can't remember which, but for a well-known home magazine. And do you know what he told me when I told him about my idea to share with you today on Facebook? He said to me, you are so right. He said, the pictures we show in the magazines, they look great, but they're photoshopped, they're staged. And, he said, we really are doing an injustice to people when we show them these things. So even the magazine people know that it's not right. But, they have to have a business and they have to have it look pretty, or else nobody else would buy their magazines, right? So that's what they do. And so that's what happens to us as well. We get caught up in this, and we look at our neighbor's house, or we look at an organizer or an organized person, and we think, I could never be organized like them, so why bother? And I just want to tell you today to please, please, please stop doing that. Please find and embrace your personal organizing style, because it will make all the difference if you do. And I just want to give you one more example, okay? Now, most of you know that I have 2 wonderful, beautiful daughters. They're both grown-ups now, and when they were young, I would go into their rooms and I would set up organizing systems like I thought, like my brain worked, and I would think, that's it. I'm going to solve their problems. I'm going to solve this chaos and this mess, and we are going to conquer this once and for all. But every time I went into their rooms, it was so messy. And of course, you're just frustrated, and you're like, why can these children not be organized like I am? Or at least that's what I thought. And it took me a very long time. I'm a very slow learner, but it took me a long time to realize they each have their own organizing styles. Now, we didn't do anything differently raising them. We raised them both the same. But I realized after a lot of observation and frustration that they each have their own personal organizing style. And let me show you a little bit example of what I'm talking about. This is my daughter Kaylee's. This is one of her notebooks I found from school. And as you can see, it's all color-coded. It's all in a binder. It's all punch-holed and organized in there by these categories. And she even has some sheet protectors, some things inside sheet protectors that she keeps her papers organized. And she has a binder for every subject, okay? Every subject has one. Now my younger daughter, Abby, hates binders. She would never put things in binders. There were too many steps. She would have to punch the holes. She would have to, unclip the binder, put the paper in, close the binder, and all that. That was just too much for her. So she requested a simple folder like this, and it just had simple pocket dividers where she could make each pocket a different category, and she would slip her papers for each subject inside those pockets. And that's how she kept herself organized while she was in high school. So the question is, who's right and who's wrong? You know what? Neither one of them are. Most people would look and say, well, Kaylee is, because everybody knows if you're organized, you have things color-coded, you have them alphabetical order, you have them, containerized, all that kind of stuff. But you know what? Abby was just as organized and just as successful in school as Kaylee was with her simple, easy-to-use pocket folder. Doesn't matter what your style is. As long as it works for you, that's all that matters. So please, I just want to encourage you today. Remember, organizing isn't one size fits all. Okay? Organizing is about you, your personality, and your personal style. And when you figure that out, when you determine, you know what, I don't like lids, I'd rather just drop things in, or I have to have it out because out of sight is out of mind. And so you leave things nice and neat on the counters. That is going to bring you the organized life you want. That is what's going to create less stress and more peace in your life. So I just want to encourage you today. I am going to leave in the comments a link to a blog post I wrote called Organizing Isn't One Size Fits All. And in there you will find some tips on how to figure out what is your organizing style and how can you make it work for you. And I'm also going to put in 2 books by the same author. One's called Organizing Your Brain Type, and the other one is Every Child Has a Thinking Style. And it's basically how are you wired and how can you be organized according to the way you're wired, which I love those books. Highly always recommend them. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will try to get to them. As well as if you are looking for more information, be sure to check out my website at bygeorgeorganizing.com. And while you're there, click on the Got Clutter section and receive my free step-by-step decluttering guide, which will put you on my newsletter, my weekly newsletter distribution, and you'll be able to get some extra insights and some extra tips that I don't always share here on Facebook. You'll also get special announcements about special groups and things I have coming up, and I'm going to be sharing one in the next few days to my newsletter first. So if you want to get in on it, I hope that you will join my newsletter so you can be up to date. So anyway, it was great being here with you, my friends, today. I wish you great organizing success your way. And until next time, I'm Liana, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.